Hey, hey,
Hey Darrell, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, thank you.
All right.
Good
It's
to be
good to
here.
know. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on and talking to me, man. I appreciate this. I really
Oh, of
do.
course. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Thank you. All right. So I'm already recording. We can go ahead and knock this baby on now. Take it home run.
Let's do it.
All right. So uh let's start off like firstly, where are you located?
Right now, I'm in Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right in
I'm
the
in
middle of the country.
I am too. I'm Indianapolis. So Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
are
So
you a lifelong indie?
born and raised.
Right on. Very
Yeah,
cool. I like
yeah,
Indianapolis.
yeah. It can be good and in their little creative ways, you know.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off by introducing yourself and what you're doing now and why you're doing it. You got the
Yeah,
flow.
man. Yeah, I'm Mark Steiner. This is a tough question to answer. I never know what I'm supposed to, what part of myself I'm supposed to share.
Sure.
What should I lead with?
Well, yeah, yeah.
What do you
Well, you can, anything that you are willing to share. Anything.
yeah. Well, the reason I say that has been rethinking it. I have led with, I'm a businessman, so very often when I'm talking to people, they're interested in the aspect of me being an entrepreneur, the company that I've founded,
Hmm.
um, and so I often say I'm a founder and CEO of a company, GigSalad. And yet I'm so much more than that. And there's things that I'm prouder of.
Yeah,
I'm a proud father. You know, I'm
absolutely.
a I'm a I'm a I'm a partner and mate to my girlfriend Carrie.
All right.
Um, I just started my own podcast, so I'm following your
All
footsteps, Daryl.
right. All
Yep,
right. Congratulations on that, man.
so I'm a podcast host with two other co-hosts. We just riff between the three of us. Um, I'm an ADHD guy, a late in life diagnosed ADHD guy. So I talk a lot about that. That seems to
Okay.
be, I spend a lot of time thinking, reflecting on this condition I have. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm a son. I got amazing parents that are still alive and at you know, they've been married 68 years this year.
Right on.
It's pretty amazing. I'm a friend. I'm a lot of stuff, Daryl. I'm a
Sure.
guest on your podcast right now, and there's nothing better than that.
Right on. Right on. I can appreciate that. Man, you talked about ADHD. Now, I gotta ask you, how long you been diagnosed as ADHD?
Well, I just turned 60 in March, and
Really?
I got diagnosed with ADHD in the fall of 23. So I'm
Wow.
yeah, my daughter got diagnosed first, and she was
Uh-huh.
telling me about the symptoms, and I
Hmm.
was like, "What? That's a thing?" She's describing things that I've had my whole life and just never knew. So I went and got screened and got diagnosed. So yeah, I'm 57 and a half when I got
Wow.
diagnosed. Yeah, kind of changed my life.
No doubt. No doubt. Like,
Just knowing.
yes, because my brother had just got diagnosed with ADHD too. So
Oh,
yeah, and the thing that I try to figure out like the symptoms and stuff like that. How to like I know like you're just being diagnosed and you're still trying to process and the things like that. What are the symptoms of ADHD?
well, for me, there's a lot, and there's variations, and there's ADD and ADHD and et cetera. But for
Sure.
me, rumination was a big one.
Hmm.
Rumination is where you can sort of go down pathways of thinking and thought that can spiral out of control, and you just start to You focus on a thought often in your past, from in my case, or
Mm,
or or not even it's necessarily past thoughts, but things, challenges could be presented, um, and from in my case, I would think
mm,
about things to the extent of it getting to become worry, and I would fret, and I would never get to a point of panic or distress, but it was something I was aware of, and for me, this is another symptom. I would
mm,
talk. For me, I talk to think, and I can tend to overshare. I can talk too much. I can go. That's another thing. I can go into rants. I can talk about all the various thoughts that are in my head at one time, and there's
yeah,
lots of them. That's another thing. Um, I could have 100 different thoughts in my head at any given time, Darrell. And so being distracted, that can be distracting.
yeah.
It can be hard for me to focus on things if I'm not
Hmm.
hyper fixating on something, which
Hmm.
is sort of the dichotomy of all that.
Yeah,
So, yeah, those are the main ones for me. Um, the strength of all of that, you might have heard, is that as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, I was able to spin a lot of plates at once. I could juggle
yeah.
a lot of balls and keep them in the air, because I could think about multiple things at once, and I could sort of keep things moving for that reason. So, yeah, those are the main ones for me.
Wow. Like you really just described my brother, like
Is that right?
the
Is that
symptoms.
right?
Yes, like you pretty much just said everything. Like
Oh,
he can go into the rants, he can go into, you know, being out of focus and distracted and things like that. He tells me this all the time. And I'm not surprised that can happen. And, and it's
hmm.
crazy because you telling me this is like hitting me deeper because of how all of that can process. And it's like pinpointing one situation to another, but this
Hmm.
is pretty much the same. So
Hmm.
it's kind of it's wild. It's wild, especially talking to you, and you're like literally on the outside looking in, and yeah, it is wild.
Yeah, man.
But I want
Is
to
is he?
ask you,
Go
I
ahead.
just got to ask you, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what changed mentally, like after the diagnosis of you being ADHD? What
Oh, that's
changed?
a that's a that's a great question. Because you would think at my age, what would be different?
Right.
And what was different for me, what what changed was the knowledge. Just to
Mm,
have, um, I hate to put it this way, but to have a label, to be able to
mm,
say, that's it. That's okay. So you have something. There's a name for how you think. Because
yeah.
I spent a lifetime. I mean, I can tell you as a young student, I knew I was I was often daydreaming in class.
Yeah.
I was the kid staring out the window,
Mm,
dreaming about being outside playing, or going to a movie, or being someplace else other than where I was. Or if I was focused
uh,
on if I was in the class, I was looking at
mm,
other kids. I was looking at the girls. That one's
yeah.
pretty. I was looking at the
Yep.
guys. Oh, I wish I was strong like that one. It's just my mind was always like I said, 100 thoughts at once. Very seldom on the teacher in the front of the class teaching a
Mm,
lesson. And so,
yes.
but what often happens with people with this condition is they figure out ways of navigating what feels like a deficiency, you know, because I
Mhm.
couldn't focus. I often didn't do, you know, great schoolwork. I could test
Yeah.
well, but I just and so you find ways of getting around what you perceive as weaknesses. And so you do it, you do a thing where you shape shift and you mask in certain environments to, again, to compensate or to get by. And
Yeah.
so after a lifetime of doing that, to be able to say, oh, well, there's something, you have this condition, was kind of a relief. It was it was like being able to breathe. Like, you just like, oh, oh, and then you start to give yourself, your very young self, your old self, you start to give yourself a little grace and mercy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you start to
Mhm.
kind of forgive, or you tell yourself it's all right, you're all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And in my case, I think I've had a certain level of success. I've been able to start a business, and it's a very successful business. We've been doing this for 20 plus years. I've been doing this for 20 plus years,
Right on.
um and I was doing great things before that, and so,
Mhm.
it's I looked at it and said, well, because of this thing, it's probably helped me in some way. It's probably served me in some way. And so
Right.
it was relief, and it was knowing, and then the question was, what do I do with this information now? How am I going to do I need to manage this? Do I need to treat this? Do I need to take medication? Do I want to take medication? Et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was some of the stuff that went through my head.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you pretty much just touched up on what you said. So everything pretty much in that just made sense. Like life just made sense. Like
Yes,
after that,
yes, yes,
it made sense.
yes, yes.
Yep. That I can understand that. I can understand that. So talk about your business. What's your business called again?
It's called Gig Salad. Gig
Talk about that.
Salad. Yeah, it's an event marketplace. It's a place where entertainers and performers and speakers and other event service providers, so bartenders and photographers, anything that you would need at an event, at a party, private parties, corporate events, any of the people that you need for those events, you can find on Gig Salad. And it's a place where we connect event planners with event service providers. And this was started before things like Airbnb and
Yeah.
Uber. So
Hmm.
those places made marketplaces sort of popular and famous and more well known. We were doing this pre those companies. But that's it. We're a place where we give people an opportunity to do what they love often. This
Yeah.
is everything from face painters and balloon twisters to bands,
Oh wow.
musicians, all these people that have these great, and they do it both full time and full time professionals doing what they do, or sometimes they're
Yeah.
just weekend warriors and they pick up some extra gigs on the weekend. And we're a part of people's most special events throughout their lives, births and anniversaries and weddings and etc.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So how does like you being in the business, you've been in the business for quite a long time. So
Yes.
how does that change from before you was diagnosed to after? How did your mind shift from that? Like was you
Yeah.
more concerned
Yeah.
like with like I know these are things that can be a little deep. It could be
Yeah.
deeper, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is and it could be different. So how did that really change like before you got diagnosed to after you got diagnosed? How did that change in your business aspect?
Yeah, well, I don't know about your brother, but in
Sure.
my case, Darrell, in my case,
Hmm.
when I got diagnosed and I
Hmm.
started talking about it, and I told
Hmm.
I told people, "Hey, everybody, I have ADHD." Almost to a person, Darrell, every single one of them was like, "Yeah, we knew that. You didn't know that?" Like everybody thought I had. They knew I had something because I was just that, I don't know, different. And it was kind of a funny reaction. And I think in my case, it people I surrounded myself with really great people
Yeah.
in my company. I think I do that in general. I have amazing friends. I have an amazing family. Uh, I have an amazing workplace and an amazing team. And without knowing
Hmm.
what I had, I knew I put people in places that complemented my weaknesses. So I just naturally found people that were good at the things that I wasn't good at. And having been doing this for so long and at a stage in my life and in the company's life, I didn't have to change very much at all. I mean, I didn't do nothing changed. Mostly it was just acknowledgement and recognition to, oh, Mark's got this. And like I said, most everybody probably suspected it and never wanted to even say something to me. They never wanted to
Yeah.
say, Mark, have you ever been tested for or screened for anything? Because you got it. So nothing changed except for in my head, and I think the perception that I had of myself, which was again, I just always thought that um, I thought I was inferior in a lot of ways to 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 those who went to college. I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
I didn't go to business school. I didn't have an MBA. What,
Hmm.
here I was a CEO of a company, of a tech company. What right do I have to be here kind of thing? And so I just always felt there was a part of me that I would focus on my deficiencies and the things I felt I lacked in. And then I realized, well, whatever those things were or are, I figured out a way to work around them. And that
Hmm.
actually ended up making me stronger or better. And so I think it gave me permission to feel my success, to accept what I had accomplished, and not on my own, not by
Yeah.
myself by any means,
Hmm.
but I definitely I felt like, no, I've done something and I've done something good. And
Yeah.
so I think it just freed me. It allowed me and freed me up to accept.
Yeah. No doubt. And this is like something I want you to kind of touch up on. Like,
Yeah.
so when it comes to ADHD, there's like confusion, self judgment, and you just mentioned masking. And I think the most popular one, misunderstanding yourself.
Oh, for
And
sure.
yes, and you talked about acceptance too. So how how bad with confusion and self-judgment, masking and misunderstanding yourself, how bad can that get? Especially you as a recent diagnosed, like personally and professionally. How bad can that get?
Oh, well, what what's what's interesting about my journey,
Hmm.
Daryl, is that in the so I got diagnosed in the fall of 23.
Yeah.
In April of 23, I stopped drinking. alcohol. I
Mm,
thought I was just gonna take about I was just gonna not drink for a month. Actually, this is kind of ironic. Today is my
yeah,
daughter's today's my daughter's wedding anniversary. Okay.
really.
Yeah. And shout out to my daughter, 3 years married.
Yes, yes.
Um, a month before her wedding, I said, I'm going to not drink for a month. I want to see how I feel. Um, and I thought, I'll have a drink at my daughter's wedding. I'll do the father of the bride toast, and that'll be the first time I drink in a month. And within a couple weeks of not drinking, I was like, I really feel better. I feel there's like a there was a fog that sort of lifted. There was this cloud that sort of dissipated, and I just thought, I don't I don't really feel like I need or want to drink again. And
Sure.
the wedding came, and I did the father bride toast with an NA beer and a non-alcoholic beer, and I've never looked back. And what I realized was, to your question,
Mhm.
how bad can it get?
Yeah,
I think in my case, I did things that were not healthy. I mean, alcohol was not a drug of choice for me. Food,
yeah,
I tended to be more of a food addict or an overeater, but
yeah.
I still had, I think, addictive tendencies and things that I would chase dopamine fixes.
Absolutely.
And things like I was a card player. I used to play a lot of poker. These were all dopamine chases, right? And
Yeah,
so and not always healthy. They were kind of destructive. And so
yeah,
it got bad because if I felt bad about myself, I'd look for ways to try to feel good about myself. And the things I went after, not always great. Or
sure.
if I felt bad, there was things I would do to feel less bad, and and they often were not the healthiest choices. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that people, when they're confused, they can start to feel depressed. I think I had
Yes.
periods in my life where I dealt with depression. Um, but I always had enough desire to be better and to grow, and I always sort of found my way out. And and here I am. So yeah, it could get really bad, and I feel for those
Yeah.
who are still at a place where they're either confused or haven't found the path to treatment. And again, whether that's a medication of some sort or therapy. I think therapy and counseling is a great source of a place to at least start, is to
Yeah.
just talk therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's been a huge help for me. I've done a lot of that in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long were you drinking before you stopped?
Well, there was a long period of my life where I didn't really drink at all. I mean, I drank and partied quite a bit when I was young. I
Yeah.
started fairly young, seventh grade.
Yeah.
I started smoking cigarettes and then started doing pot, and that led to, I was kind of doing it all. And then in 23, um, I I'm sorry. I meant to do this before. Let me do not. Uh, I don't want that. Stop it. Um, sorry, sir. There we
No,
go.
you're good.
Um, unprofessional. Forgive me.
No,
Uh,
that's all right, man. Life is live, man. That's okay.
yeah, it is. And then when I was 23, I joined a church, and I pretty much stopped everything for 15 years. I really just didn't do much of anything
Oh
for a
wow.
long time. Yeah. Yeah. And then I was a very casual drinker, very social drinker. That was really the extent of it.
Yeah.
Uh and as I got older, it was having these I was having these allergic reactions to it. Like my sinuses would fill up the next day, my I'd be very congested. And
Mm,
the reason I finally said I'm just going to give it a break for a month was I
mhm.
had one beer one night, and the next day I woke up, felt like I just had a hangover. I was just so sluggish. I just felt horrible.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is not good. I don't enjoy it. And it would take a day or two to recover. I'd just be slow and lethargic and tired. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I drank, and again, we never drank in the house. Carrie and I would never drink at home. I have a full liquor thing over there that's
I see it.
just for guests. I
Yeah,
haven't touched
absolutely.
it. I haven't touched anything from that bar cart, and neither has Carrie for probably 5 years.
That's
You
champs
know,
right there, man.
before I even stopped drinking, we just didn't drink at home. We would drink when we went out with friends, or I'd go have a drink after I play tennis. And that was the last time I drank, was after a night of tennis with the guys. We went to a bar, I had a beer, and like I said, I woke up the next day just feeling like crap. And that was the last drink I had. And so but I realized what I did realize, Darrell, was how much when I did drink, it was treating my ADHD. Because some of the other stuff
Hmm.
that I dealt with was like small bits of social anxiety when I was out in public. Um, as they call liquor. It can be the equalizer or the liquid courage. It just you have a drink, all of a sudden it loosens you up. You can start, you know, you can talk and and joke and that's I realized I definitely drank for that reason, just to feel
Yeah.
less stress and pressure and anxiousness and anxiety and things. And I didn't realize all of that until after I got diagnosed with the ADHD. And then as I looked
Hmm.
back on my life and started questioning everything, I questioned everything I had ever done in my life and started asking, why did I do that? Why would I, why did I do, why would I do something that had a uh, a net result that was not positive? Why would I
Hmm.
do things? And sometimes we do things in life, I think, uh, even with negative results, we do them because they have possibly an instantaneous, it either provides a pleasure or it provides uh, a change in the perspective of what is going on. It can make us, like I said, instantaneously make us feel better, we think.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's all very confusing. What you know?
I mean, that makes sense. Like, I can understand in that aspect, but I'm going to say this because any person, I'm taking myself out of this equation, but any
Mhm.
person that's sitting in a video call with you and see that liquor cart behind you would be so tempted to have a drink, right? Anybody, anybody would be so tempted. They get off this, get off this call, and would
That's
be
right.
like, "Oh, looking
If
at that liquor cabinet, they try to tempt me to get a drink. I'm gonna get a drink now."
there's the best of everything back there. There's tequila, there's like all the stuff, all the
Man, like
bourbons.
anybody would just be like, "Oh my gosh, now you done
Hmm.
craved
Hmm.
up the appetite to get me a drink." Anybody would think that. I'm just more. I don't drink much. I'm like, I think the
Gotcha.
last drink I'd have had was, oh my gosh, maybe about 5, 6 years ago, maybe more than that.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
been a long time. Like, because
Yeah.
I'm not really a drinker like that. So I could look at
Right.
that liquor card and be like, yeah, okay,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll drink on the social.
It's more like furniture for us. It's just it was there, we it's there if somebody wants something. So
Yep. Looking like decoration right now.
that's
That's
right.
cool.
Decoration.
It's
That's
decoration
exactly
right
right.
now.
Piece of art.
There you go. That's it. So here's the thing. Like when we're talking about the whole ADHD thing, we have like it can affect self-perception, right? It
Hmm.
can affect confidence in relationships. Did that come a long way for you? How did that, how did that ADHD affect you in that way
Oh,
in
yeah.
relationships and confidence and stuff like that?
Um, I, well, I was married 27 years and then got divorced.
Oh
And
wow.
this was just before and this was, well, not just before I got divorced in 17.
Mhm.
So, uh, 7 or 8 years later, what was it? No, in 23, 17, 6 years later, I get diagnosed with the ADHD. And I look back on my divorce and realized, oh, I probably wasn't always a very easy person to live with. I went back to my ex-wife afterwards and after I got the diagnosis and I actually said, I'm sorry. I didn't um I'm as I'm learning more about myself, I'm sorry that I'm I blamed her for so much of it and I realized no, it's never that way. It always takes two. And so
Excuse me.
um it affected my marriage, I'm sure. It affected me as a parent, you know.
Yeah.
Uh heck, I think I passed the gene on to my daughter. So
Yeah.
sorry, daughter. That's how it affects
Yeah, that's how it works. Mhm.
I'm as owning a business. I'm sure there's times when my ADHD has not always been beneficial. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so it it affects everything, what you don't know, and so I just acted from a place of non-information, and I've always did my
Mhm.
best. I mean, I'm a I always wanted to be an actor.
Sure.
I wanted to be an actor from a very young age, an actor, or I wanted to be a rock star or a movie star. I wanted to be one of
Ah.
those two,
Ah.
right? And
Okay.
so there was a part of me that was always, I was always naturally performing. That's again, that's kind of the masking thing, depending on
Yeah.
who I was hanging out with. I would mask or shapeshift to be more like that person or more like that group. So if I'm with a bunch of golfers, I try to act like golfers, whatever that looks like, right? If I'm hanging
Yeah.
out with if I'm hanging out with a bunch of jocks and athletes, I try to act like an athlete. If I'm in a business situation, I try to be a businessman.
Yeah.
Whatever that perception was, a lot of that I got from what the- what it, what movies told me, what movies and TV shows said that those things were,
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. So, um, I I could even act like I was confident,
Hmm.
even if I felt unsure of myself at the time, even if I
Yeah.
felt insecure, I'd act like I was confident.
Hmm.
Um, because I think there's always been a part of me, even if it was a small part, that I believed in myself. I
Yeah.
believed that I was special, or I believed that I was put on this earth to do something great, and and then I'd be conflicted by the fact that how am I going to do something great? There's nothing
Right.
great about me. There's nothing special about me. How am I?
Right.
So it was this back and forth, this yin and yang effect going on constantly with feeling like I believed in myself for 1 minute and then the next minute not. And it was just this back and forth like ping pong table, you know?
Yeah.
And it was it's exhausting, Darrell. It is
Yes.
exhausting. It is people don't realize unless you got it how just sheer exhausting it is. Um that's
Yeah.
all it's all I can say about that.
Man, because you you said something right at the beginning of it, and I have to mention this because it now I feel like I may have to actually get screened to,
Okay.
see if I get
Yeah.
ADHD because you said something that caught my attention because um I had a guest on yesterday. Uh I think his name was Scott Lackey. And I talked about something that you said, and I had told him because we was talking about, well, I was talking to him about my previous relationship, and I had told him that I didn't realize who I was, like, as identity in myself. I was lost in myself, right? And I went on to mention that um I had got into it with her, and everything just kind of changed. And then after that, we got along again, and there was this long span of me trying to change myself and get better and stuff like that. And then one day she said something, and then I just snapped. And I just went off. I just went ballistic. And then the next thing I know, maybe about, I think I said it was about a couple of months later, maybe 3 or 4. It was before my sister got married. And she left me, and she just moved out and did everything. She just left me. And I didn't know, like, what did I do? And the next thing I knew, I moved here where I'm at now. And this is, I think it was 2022. I'm in bed and I'm scrolling on my phone, and I happen to just go and just reread the old messages that me and her was exchanging, right? And I looked at this, I said, man, I was a jerk. I was just
Yeah.
blasted a jerk, man. I
Hmm.
like you said, I was blaming her for everything.
Yep.
I was just
Yep.
hurling insult after insult. I was doing
Yep.
everything to her. I treated
Hmm.
her so badly. I understood why she left me. That point, I was like, yep, I see why she left me. And then I went, I went and I, it's
Right
because,
on, Darrell.
yeah, absolutely.
Good for you.
Because I went and I had a Facebook back then, and then I had deactivated it. I was like, I was done with it. So when I saw those old messages, I said, okay, I'm gonna have to recreate this Facebook again, and I gotta find it. So I went and recreated Facebook and looked her up, saw she was still on Facebook, and I messaged her. And we got to having a conversation. We had a conversation, we was talking, and back, well, rewinding back to, I think it was 2011 or 2013. It was one of those 2 years or in between. She had bought me a camera, and it was a Canon camera. And she,
Nice.
yeah, she had bought me that literally brand new. Now it's old, but she bought me that brand new, and I still have it. And when she bought me that, I was excited. I was happy, everything. I grateful, everything. And so fast forwarding to when I was actually texting her, I had told her, I was like, yeah, because she asked me, like, if I was still doing, photography work and stuff like that. I was like, yeah,
Mm.
I dibble and dabble a little bit now here and there. Like, I've been focusing more on podcasts and stuff like that. And she was like, you still got that camera I bought you? Yeah, I still got it. I still got it. Like this is right here, the whole change. Like I did not actually sit down and appreciate you. I literally took you for granted. And I am so sorry that I did that to you.
Oh,
That's what I literally said to her. Like
right
I
on,
literally,
Darrell.
yes, I screenshotted it and kept it because I knew if I had to hold myself accountable to something, it had to been that
Yep.
because I was not a good dude back then. Yes,
Bravo.
yes,
Bravo.
like it.
Did she receive that? Did she receive
Yeah,
it?
yes. It's like
That's awesome.
she forgave it. She was like, you know what? It happens. Like I forgive you. It is all
Oh,
good.
nice.
Like, you know, it was a relief for
Nice.
me. Yes, it
Yeah.
was very relief for me. And that
Yes.
was important to me because I knew
Yes.
when I saw those messages, I said, this is not
Yeah.
going to slide. I have to get back and see if I can,
Yeah.
get in touch with her. And that's why I was like, when you said that and when you talked about your ex-wife and you seen how bad you was treating her and stuff like that, that hit me because I knew like, yeah, either way, man, it could be ADHD, it may not be. You could just be pure ignorant. Like there are just things that you have to take an account for. And what you told me that, man, I was like, yeah, I think I may have to kind of
That's
dibble
that's
dabble.
great. That is
Yeah.
so true, Darrell. Taking
Yes.
accountability for ourselves, regardless of what we have or don't have, but taking
Mm-hmm.
responsibility is key. And being humble and
Mm-hmm.
being vulnerable
Yes.
and saying I'm sorry is really very noble. Good
And I'm
for
telling
you.
you,
And
yes, and but apologizing for something that you did is never easy for people. That's why they dodge it.
that's
And
right.
trust me, I've done that before. I've dodged so many things of trying to hold myself accountable to something. But then sometimes, you just have to stop. You have to stop running from it. You have to stop, dodging these things because if you keep dodging it, in my personal opinion, the more that you actually start losing respect for you, not only yourself, but for people surrounding you. And that's where I had to kind of tune up myself, change the attitude and, you know, keep holding myself accountable to a lot of the things that I've done. So yeah, man,
It's
I had
very
to share
relieving,
that
isn't it?
with you. Yes, I had to share that because
Yeah.
that hit
Yeah.
me because I was like, "Whoo, yeah,
Yep.
buddy." I had to I had to let that one rip because that's a very that's a very strange way to kind of think, yeah, I might have to get screened to see if I have ADHD because everything that you just said, I
Yeah.
said yesterday. So so it was like a moment there. I was like,
Well,
mm.
if your brother has it, then there's a good chance, it
I may
there
have it
you
now.
may have it.
And what I
And
just forgot, my sister has it too. So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I might have to.
It's worth knowing. It's worth
Yeah, it
finding out.
is. Yeah.
And
Cause
unless if you feel, I mean, if you're doing okay, if you're
mhm.
doing life and everything's all right, maybe it seems to be there seems to be a lot of new information. It seems to in the past 5 years or so, it's really
Yeah.
been brought to the forefront of, hey, this is a thing. When I was growing up, any
Mhm.
kids that were hyper, they were given Ritalin, or it was just that kid's hyper, and it was almost there was a stigma put on these on the kid. I mean, heck, I
Yeah.
think I was probably hyper to some extent. I think I don't know if I was jittery or constantly going, but I do know that my
Yeah.
mind wasn't stopping, and no one ever thought to have me diagnosed. It just was never even a consideration. So, but yeah, uh, yeah, Darrell, if you do get diagnosed, I want you to call me and let me know what comes back.
Oh,
All
you
right.
bet. You already know, man. You already know because like that's where I'm kind of, you know, these are human, like these are human thoughts,
Yeah,
like everything that we talk about and everything that we say, any symptoms of ADHD or anything like that, you just think they're just human thoughts. Maybe I'm stupid because I can look
right.
at my brother right now and be like, man, he don't got no daggone ADHD. Come on, man. Like,
Right.
because like my brother, like, he's a smart dude. Okay. Like, I'll be the first to admit I hate when the dude is right. Okay. I hate it because he could be razor sharp on something. Like I could talk to him about something and he could be on the outside looking in, rather if it's my job or anything that's outside that has nothing to do with him. He can just pinpoint what that is. And I'll be like, that's why I don't tell you nothing because you're right. And you will never think in a million years that the dude has ADHD because brilliant people are what they are. They're brilliant people. And I hate to admit that he can be right about something. It kills me. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
dude, because I could go and just go and not tell him nothing. And then I'll tell him like maybe a month or two later. He's like, now, why did you not tell me that? You knew that you just had to keep it to yourself, did you? Yeah, because I knew you was gonna be right. That's why I didn't say nothing. And it just, I,
Is
I always give him some spat about it.
is he an older brother?
No, that's my younger brother. We're twins.
Is-
Yeah, we're twins. I'm about a minute
Oh.
older than him. That's it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Oh,
yeah.
wow. Oh, wow. That's really interesting to me. I
Yeah,
wonder if I that makes me really curious now. I've never known, I don't think I've ever known I've never met a twin who's got ADHD. And now it makes me wonder
yeah. That's why I have to
if,
fiddle in it. I got to fiddle in it, man. I got to figure something
yeah,
out.
yeah, interesting. And your sister she younger or older than you?
No, that's our older sister. Yes, she's older.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
she's
just
about
the three of
50.
you?
Yep, just three of us. Hmm.
Got it.
Yep,
Very
just the three of
interesting.
us. Yep. So that's why I'm like, I have to kind of dip in the pool a little bit, see if
You might need to dip your
my
toe in
sister.
there,
Yeah, I
Daryl.
got to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to now because if them two got
Yeah.
diagnosed, what are the odds that I may get
Pretty
diagnosed?
strong. Pretty strong, I
It's
would
pretty
say.
strong because if I could give out a different thought versus them because they have the same thoughts. If I could
Right.
give out a different thought, like they was something they never think about, then it could mean less, but still it's a possibility. So
I'd say
yeah,
so.
yeah, it's whew, yes,
It's a lot.
yeah. I have to, I
Well, I'm
have
glad
to,
we got to this place here, Daryl. I'm glad we figured out that you're gonna get the
yeah.
screen and we're gonna need to
That's
do a follow-up at some point.
absolutely, yep. And that's why it's like I have to, you know, that's why I love just having people on because I
We're
get to
just doing
learn.
life together. We're just doing
Yes,
life. Yeah, we're learning
yeah,
together. That's what
just
it is.
learning, and that's
Yeah.
what, and I love it, and I would not take anything away from this because I enjoy just having people come on and they share their thoughts, they share, how they're feeling, and
Yeah.
I always wanted this to be an open space for people to just
Yeah.
talk. I've always wanted that. I didn't know how to do it, but I always wanted it. And
Oh,
that's when I knew like if I could get this podcast, yeah, I think I could do it. And yeah, it took me about 3 years, but
how
I
many how many
managed to do it.
episodes are you in now?
Oh my gosh.
Did I see
This right now
two?
for you, this is 81.
81.
You're the 81. Yep.
Congratulations, Daryl.
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, because
And no,
and because
it's
normally, and that's the thing, because I was doing this before I started. my fourth year, I was doing it weekly. So I was only doing it once a week. So I was publishing, I think it was every Sunday. I would do a
Okay.
recording, I think either Monday or Tuesday, and I'll have it posted on the weekend. I think it was on a Sunday, and I did it every week. And I did it from like October of a previous year all the way up to May of
Okay.
the next year. So this is I'm winding down, but I still got people coming on to
Yeah.
talk to me
Yeah.
about this because I ain't no way I can just like not do it because I gotta do it.
No, I hear you.
Like yeah, I gotta do
I
it, and
yeah.
I come on to year four. I'm doing year four now, and
Right.
I uh I was going to do the same thing, but the only difference was I literally got on the record and I said, "This is what I'm going to do. I am really in a I'm just going to do it when I feel like it mode." That's where
Right.
I
Right.
was. I was
Right.
literally in that mode. And this was January because I was supposed to start it in October. I didn't. It got all the way up to January of this year for me to start back up. And I was like, I'm just going to do it whenever I'm getting ready. That's
Yeah.
it. That's how I'm going to do it.
Yep.
It wasn't until one email in late January that changed everything. It changed everything. It was a fella named Tim Thomas. He came and wrote me, but I didn't see it because it didn't hit me in the inbox. It literally hit straight to spam. It went to
Okay.
spam.
Okay.
And I looked at it and he wanted to come on and he wanted to talk about his struggles. He was I think he was a veteran and
Oh,
he's the founder of the Breathwork app and stuff like that. He has a little,
okay.
business doing that. And he
Right.
wanted to come on and he wanted to talk about his struggles in mental health. I said, dang, I think it's too late now. And I said, you know what? Let me go. Let me go on and hit him up anyway, see what happens. So I hit him up and he came back and he wrote me back and we asked him every day. And he was actually my first one. And that changed everything. I've been consistent ever since then.
Oh,
I've been
right on,
consistent
man.
with, yeah, he changed everything, man. And I was like, ooh, I think I needed that because had
Yeah.
that not
Yeah.
happened, I would have not been where I'm at right
Yep.
now.
You're making a difference.
I am.
Good.
And that's what I
Good
wanted to
for
do. That's what I
Tim.
wanted to do.
Good for Tim. And you're
Dude,
and you're and
yes.
you're giving him props. Right on.
I am. And I appreciate him because and we still talking to this day. We still
That's awesome. That's awesome.
actually yep, we go on we both have Instagram and he'll send me DMs of him doing his workouts and sitting in the
Oh,
sun,
fantastic.
or he'll just text
Right.
me up and say, "Hey, how you doing, man? You doing all right?" Dude,
That's
like
fantastic.
that's what I needed, man. And I think that's important because I've told him like, let's hope again, let's
Yes.
hope.
That's
And
it. That's
it's
it.
this those opportunities that I just really needed to actually bring awareness to these things. Like I don't
Right.
care what it is.
Right.
Like I think you're actually, if I'm right, I think you're actually the first one that actually is a diagnosed ADHD. I think you're my first. I have to
No,
look at my notes, but I think you're the first. I don't think I have anybody that came on and talked about ADHD.
ADHD.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think you're the
Wow.
first.
All
I could
right.
be wrong, but I think you're the first because, like I said, like I'm open to all and any. Like, talk to me. Let's talk about this.
Yeah,
And
man.
I love it. I love it.
Well, there's in Gig Salad, we have a slogan. It's our moniker that is peace, love, and gigs. And
Yes.
so that's what we're promoting all the time in our company, outside of our company, is finding peace within ourselves and we're promoting peace outward. We're loving ourselves and we love others.
Mm-hmm.
And then the gig part, Darrell, is about, I believe that we are all put on this earth to do something unique
Yes.
that only you can do, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think in your case, for as much as I know about you, we just met.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you are at least one of the things that you're meant to do is to be a podcast host.
I
You
agree.
do a great job, man. You
I
do,
appreciate that.
and I appreciate the vulnerability you bring to it, telling stories, telling honest
Mhm.
stories about yourself. It
Yeah.
makes it easy for other people to do it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
shown. So yeah, it's shown. Like I love when people come on and talk to me.
Yeah,
And I
man.
think I saw that. And I think I saw it because I think what's her name?
Megan.
Megan
Yes.
emailed me and I saw that. And
At the
then I
bottom
and
of
it
it.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, because I looked at it, I said, who? That's pretty unique. That's pretty unique. And you just mentioning it because I had forgotten all about it that fast. And
That's
when
it.
you
That's it.
said that, I was like,
That's it.
now where did I hear that? I just heard that. Like I just saw it somewhere. Where did it come from? And I forgot that Megan sent me an email. I was
That's right.
like, oh
That's
my
it.
goodness. Yeah. I forgot all about it, man. So yeah, that's a wonderful thing, man. But yeah,
Thanks, bro.
yeah, we'll definitely follow up, man, for real, because
It's
yeah,
great.
I'm a end this and we can move on and I appreciate you coming on, man, and
Thanks,
talking to me
Darrell.
about this, man. You really like made me learn some things, man, and I
Thank
love
you.
it. I
Me
really do. I
too.
love just like talking to y'all. Like it's I feel like it's
Um,
important to me now.
Same, bro.
Yeah, I love it, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do.
Let's stay in touch, Darrell.
Yeah, you bet, man. You bet.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, you bet, man.